Here's a wild tour story from a city that I'm not gonna mention with a crazy fan. We're in this city, I'm not gonna say the name of the city. And, you know, I seen a fan and he screams at me as we coming into the venue. And he's like, "Hey, Lecrae, I got a message for you, man." And I was like, "That's what's up, man. All right, man, be easy." And I just kept walking and moved around. The concert starts, and you know, a lot of other acts. It's about 10,000 seater. So way up in the rafters, that's where his seat was. But every act, he just found a way to like keep inching himself closer and closer to the stage. And so it was kind of like, my manager had peeped him and was like, "Man, this is that same dude." And he keeps getting closer and closer to the stage. So finally he ended up getting so close to the stage, he tried to sneak backstage real quick. Security wrapped him up, said, "Nah, you can't do that." And they was like, "We're gonna kick you out, you do this again." So he's like, "All right, man." So toward the end of the show, he tried to sneak back again. They grabbed him. He said, "Man, you out of here." So they kicked him out. So we kind of just forgot about it, thought it wasn't a big deal. And then we get to the tour bus, and the dude is just camped out in front of the tour bus. So we like, "Oh man, this dude is crazy, man. Like, sir, you gonna have to leave." He said, "I ain't going nowhere. I got a message for Lecrae. I ain't going nowhere." And he was like, "Just tell me the message." He said, "Nah, it ain't for you. I need to speak to the man himself." So he's like, "I'm sorry, man, you're not gonna speak to him. It's not gonna work." So he's like, "I ain't going nowhere." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna have to call security." So he's like, "Do it." So they called security, but security inside was big dudes. Outside it was like, you know, a retirement, you know, senior citizens program or something like that. So they were just there, they're just chilling, like, hey, you know, cars directing traffic. So he called security, and it's an older gentleman. He's like, "You gotta go, sonny." He's like, "Man, I ain't going nowhere. You know, I got a message." So my manager's like, "Listen, I'm gonna have to call the police on you if you don't leave." He's like, "Man, you call the police, I ain't going nowhere." The dude starts seeing the flashing lights. He looked at my manager, he's like, "You didn't call the police, did you?" He said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "God gave me a message for Lecrae." He said, "What's the message?" He said, "I'ma f*** you up." That's the message, "I'ma f*** you up." You know, so it's like, okay, this dude is crazy, for real. So anyway, the police, you know, came, grabbed the dude up, and escorted him out. You know, they surrounded the area, whatever it is, like, "We can't even let y'all get back on your tour bus. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna have to just jump in the car and go to the hotel, because it's too much crazy stuff going on over here." So that was kind of crazy to me. Dude said he had a message from God, but apparently, it was really just to come, you know, mess my manager's life up. So I don't know what that was about. He came back to another show, and we caught him and just saw him outside, and it was like, "Nah, bro, you're not getting in." He's like, "I bought a ticket." It was like, "Thanks for the donation."
California was like, "Yo, if you're dope, you're dope." You know what I'm saying? You just tell your story, you tell it the way you tell it, you know what I'm saying? And it was just more like, "Yo, you need to be able to exercise all the elements. Can you write a song? Can you write a hook? Can you kill a bar? Can you freestyle? Can you rap on beat? You got tap, you know what I'm saying? Can you battle?" If you had all those in place, I don't care what God you serve.
It was just a matter of time of how long this sun beating on me with no food in my stomach, after no sleep, I was gonna throw up. It was just inevitable. So then I start rapping, and then I'll never forget it. I look to my right, and Gwen Stefani's watching.
The door comes swinging open, and here comes D1 with his dreads and with this long, like, robe-like thing coming off the bus. All of them said it was like Jesus walked off the tour bus, because they said the second the door swung open and I just emerged with this huge blanket and these long flowing locks, they said the police were like, "Oh, he's with y'all? Oh, y'all are good, y'all are good."
It has to grow its strength in emotional and spiritual and togetherness and familyness. But in order to get there, you gotta first stop killing each other, you know? So it's a growing process, and I think the answers won't be found in a day or in a year.